somebody upstages you that much, or if you're a threat to somebody who's an alpha male, they want to just get you out of their life. You know, they want you way on the other side of town, and you could see the distance. You could see the distance after the Lionel Richie tour, and just before breaking, you know, we're in Shaka Khan's "I Feel for You" video. We're dancing side by side. You know, but he still was like the star of that video. It was him, and we were like the background dancers. And then the Lionel Richie All Night Long video, we were in the video as principal, but yet Shabba Doo was like, he came out with his star, you know, as being one of the star dancers. You know, he kicks off his jacket and his coat. So he was always used to being the pretty boy and the star of the show. And when he got paired with me, I think it really hurt his ego.
Right.
Because not only did I was younger than him, but I had a different style. I had a likable personality, you know, and my stamina. I mean, I could dance a lot longer than him, you know, because of my youth. So I had all those things going for me, and I think that he probably has bad memories regarding that, and probably doesn't feel he wants to be upstaged anymore. He just wants to promote Shabba Doo and his style. And it's interesting that he you know, we had limited dialogue. I mean, I talked to him, but you know, we had very limited dialogue, and I had told him, I said, you know, it'd be really nice to do another film. And you know, he just kind of looked at me and he said, yeah, you know, he goes, I'm going to make my own film.
I see.
You know, and you know, who knows? I mean, I would be up for it I think if all else fails, if a movie was being made and it was actually legit and going through, and we had the green light to go through, I think maybe he would probably consider doing it.
The next question I had was again from the Vibe interview. Tony Basil mentions that, she's talking about you here, that you were so far ahead of the time in your ability and your creativity with your moves that you didn't see the next generation of moves coming up, and so you kind of were surpassed by the next generation of dancers. Do you think that's a valid criticism?
No. And the thing is, coming from her, she's a choreographer, and Tony, what she did, when she said that, she's speaking in terms of a choreographer's career. She went from locking to jazz to salsa. She does samba. She does all these different things, and she's become a world choreographer. But the thing is, I wasn't trying to get outside the box style. I was trying to be the best me. I would add to it. I knew how to do other styles, but I wasn't trying to walk in her shoes as a choreographer. And I think that when she said that, you know, she probably wanted to was concerned about, well, what happened with me, with my career, with my dance career, as far as, you know, did he become a choreographer? You know, usually a soloist either becomes a choreographer or opens up a dance studio. But neither one of those really appealed to me. I just kind of like, you know, I would share my moves with certain people, and especially after teaching Michael Jackson, you know, I was like, okay, well, the less people that learn my stuff, you know, the more marketable I'll be, you know, as opposed to teaching everybody everything that I know.
Right.
So, you know, I was really discreet with that. And plus, I didn't see myself as walking in her shoes. So when she made that comment, it wasn't about me not noticing the next generation of moves coming up. And if you really think about it, it's interesting because I never really had to change my style.
Right.
The style of dancing became popular again, like we were saying, in 2003.
Right.
Now we're back to popping and breaking again.
Right.
You know, so had I changed and got out of that, you know, it would have been something different. You know, and I've experimented with adding to my style. You know, sometimes I would play around with the current dance or stuff like, you know, stuff that came out that was popular that the kids were doing. But Michael Jackson, he told me something while we were practicing one day, and this was around the time MC Hammer was popular. I said, Michael, I go, what do you think about MC Hammer? He said, you know what, the guy sells a lot of records. He goes, but that dance style is not as structured as popping. I go, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, he goes, his dance style is more of an aerobic workout, and he goes, your style more people can imitate. They could get a hold of, and they can imitate. And I was like, wow. So that's what come Michael Jackson. He chose to, with all the dancers and the choreographers that Michael Jackson worked with. Mm-hmm. I mean, he worked with the best in the industry. His solo act, his solo dancing came down to just popping. Mm-hmm. And that's what he was happy with, because he realized that nobody in the industry could move like him. No singer could move like him. And that raised the bar from just being a street dancer like we were to just being the one and only. And I think that was kind of cool. I mean, it was a very clever decision on his part to just take up popping as his solo, because that's what people started wanting to. And not only he was great for his voice, but people just, I mean, they were just calling him the best dancer ever, you know, the greatest dancer ever from his popping. Because that's, I mean, most people were never really exposed to popping until they seen him, you know. So that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you have any plans in the future to maybe write a book about your experiences?
Yeah, you know, I was talking to my manager about it, and we're, like I said, I'm going to see how that goes. I just had a meeting with him, and I've been toying with the idea, but like I said, I just haven't had the resources to actually put it down and actually, you know, publish it and get it out there. So hopefully I can get that done and write down my experiences, because there's a lot of stuff that I went through and stuff that people don't know, mm-hmm. you know, other than dance, you know, just my life in general, mm-hmm. you know, and I'd like to share that with the fans, you know, let them know what celebrities I influenced, who I ran into, you know. Mm-hmm. It's been a really interesting career.
Well, I think so. I think doing a book would be a very good idea. You know, doing it sort of like what we're doing right here. You're telling someone your story, and they can, you know, write it up for you as a ghostwriter, or you could write it yourself. There are a lot of ways you could go about doing it, and I guarantee it would be a success. A lot of people want to know the story.
And that's another reason why I do. I mean, I agree to do interviews, because mm-hmm. it's not like the same story being told over and over. Mm-hmm. There's one thing I appreciated about your questions. They're very thought-provoking questions. They're not. I mean, you really thought about these questions, I could see, and they really, they helped me to actually relive those moments. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I agreed to do your interview. Totally different questions than the Vibe magazine, and they gave more insight as to the hip hop culture.
Have you ever thought about producing a DVD about your story and about your dancing?
I just haven't had the resources. I mean, I haven't had, you know, a point of origin to start, or haven't gotten with the right people to actually get the production going, you know. Mm-hmm.
Someone like Mr. Wiggles would not be able to help you or assist you in that, finding the right people?
By collaborating with somebody like him, they would probably exploit me, would want some money, or, you know, I mean, because he's already set up, you know. It's mm-hmm. one of those things where you have to take care of yourself. I mean, right now, hip-hop, I mean, this kind of thing has become an industry, and my mm-hmm. name is out there, so that's why I'm hoping everything goes good with my manager, just so that I don't get pimped in a figurative way. For, you know, if I do something like that, I gotta, you know, I'm at the age where I need every amount of money that I can get from my work. Right. You know, not being selfish. I don't mind collaborating with somebody and then getting a percentage. But the thing is, you know, this is because it's such a rare and coveted thing that people want. I want to make sure it's done right.
Right.